Hey guys, Vic here. Hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to shoot a little tutorial for you, give you a little training, and I want to call this why you're not winning yet. Right? So if you're trying to sell whatever it is that you're selling, your product, your service, you're building a company, you're building a downline, you're trying to sell affiliate stuff, e-commerce, doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to sell that's going to get you money, right? Because that's how you create the good life that you want, is you sell a product or a service, and then you get rewarded, right, financially, so that financial side of things funds and kind of fuels your good life that you want, that we all want, right? So how do we get more of that fuel that's gonna, fund your good life? Well, it's through selling more of whatever it is you're selling, like product or service. I want to talk to you about the big problem and the big challenge and the big pitfall that a lot of entrepreneurs are falling into, and that keeps them broke. It keeps them, on a treadmill, right? Ever felt like you're going 1,000 miles an hour and you're standing on the same spot, right? Your results, your bank account doesn't change, your numbers don't really change that much, while you feel like you're working harder than ever before, right? You have all these things to focus on around, in the cyberspace, and everybody's preaching you do this and chatbots and this and the other, and you're like, dude, I want to do everything, but your net result is you're just not happy with it, right? So I want to demystify this whole concept, and this is something I learned early in my career, and this is something that changed my life completely. As a matter of fact, it allowed me, as cliche as it sounds, I was literally able to go from not having $1.19 to my name to breaking through and becoming a #1 income earner in the same company I was failing in. And then I took this idea and I perfected it, was able to then turn my, create a decent annual income for myself. And I was able to take that annual income, turn it into my monthly income, weekly income, and even daily income. It's crazy what's possible with this idea. And to make it very simple for you to understand this, right, I'm going to use a metaphor. And the metaphor that I'm going to use is this, right? So check out my little whiteboard here. I want to make sure that you get this. When you get this, when you start applying this in your business and you really master this concept, it's not complicated, but awareness makes the whole, makes a big difference here, right? So check this out. The metaphor I'm going to put it to you is like this, right? If I have a vehicle, okay, if I've got a vehicle and, and for my vehicle to run, okay, what's every vehicle need for it to be running, for it to run? I don't care what vehicle it is, right? It might be Honda Civic, it might be a Rolls Royce, it might be a Ferrari or an airplane, for all I know. It doesn't matter, okay? A vehicle is something that's gonna get you from point A to point B, right? A vehicle, is like that company that you are a part of, or that product that you're trying to sell that's gonna get you from point A to point B financially. You tracking with me, right? So the vehicle is one thing. Now, let's kind of dig under the hood that nobody really wants to talk about, and just kind of see what's every vehicle need to run. Well, every vehicle needs, as we all know, right, an engine to run, right? Not a complicated, not a rocket science, anything, super heavy here, pretty light stuff. Now, let's think a layer deeper, right? What's every engine need to operate, right? Every engine needs a fuel, right? So check this out. Now, Vic, where are you going with all this? This stuff, as simple as it sounds, okay? Very, very few people in any company, in any industry really understand this. This took me a lot of trial and error, a lot of frustration, but it changed my life like you can't even believe, right? It can do the same thing for you. Let me explain this to you. It's a pretty simple concept. The vehicle, okay, is your product, right? It's your product or your offer, your company, whatever it is you're selling, your service, okay? It's your vehicle. The more of that, the more that you sell of that, right? The more you'll get rewarded and get what you want, which is, money and better lifestyle and all that good stuff, right? That's why we're in business, because we want to make money. Nothing wrong with that. Now, here is what most people don't understand. Most people, and this is the reason for that, is because it's being propagated, in our industry by, it seems like everybody, all the gurus are basically telling you this. A, you want to send traffic, right, to your product, all right? Ever heard of that? Go to run Facebook ads and send Facebook visitors straight to your product. Well, it's kind of like trying to pump fuel, okay, into a vehicle, all right, over here, and bypassing the engine, okay? That's not gonna work. Now, this might be a little extreme example or metaphor here, but stay with me here. I'm gonna explain this to you, okay? What's the problem with this thing, or with this concept, or with this setup? When you send traffic being a fuel, okay, and then your vehicle is being the product, right? So when you send traffic straight to your product, okay, like that, you are doing what everybody else is doing in your industry, and you're being just like everybody else because that's what everybody else is doing out there, okay? Now, what I've done in my business that made a huge difference for me and our company, and that's what we teach, and obviously that's what I'm going to teach you as well, is you include an extra element in this equation, and we add an engine element, okay? An engine is your system of selling, okay? An engine is like a system. And then a fuel, as we already discussed, is your traffic, okay? So what I do is this, is I'm going to send traffic to my system, right? To my engine, to my marketing engine, okay? See what I'm saying? And then I let that marketing engine sell the product or offer or anything else that I'm selling. It's called indirect selling, okay? What this allows me to do is this particular setup, and I'm going to teach you all of this. As a matter of fact, I have a training that I recorded, a full-blown tutorial, and it's like a masterclass. If you want to watch, and I'm going to get into this concept in great details and explain to you the whole setup and the whole details of it. You can register, just click the link around this video somewhere. But I'm promising you, this particular setup is going to make all the difference for you if you do it properly, okay? So what I want to do is I want to be able to sell systematically, and I want to be able to outsell all of my competition. Okay, I remember when I came into a direct selling company, and that company had like 200,000 affiliates. And everybody was telling me, Vic, you're crazy, man. This thing is saturated. The product everybody's promoting, there's 200,000 affiliates, in the industry trying to sell this product. It's over, man. They had their day of glory, right? And this company is no longer relevant, all right? Well, I came in, and because I was following, right, this model right here, that fuel, system or fuel engine vehicle, kind of a metaphoric setup, I've built my own system of selling. I never, ever, ever, ever sell anything directly, okay? Everything that I always sell, especially if I'm selling somebody else's product, it's always indirect. Let me tell you why. When you have a product that you're promoting and it's somebody else's product, or maybe, there's a lot of people promoting that same thing that you're selling, that you're trying to sell, product or a service, and there is no difference between how you sell that versus how anybody else that's promoting that, how they sell it, right? You're playing a game called whoever gets lucky game. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to create a systematic way of selling this where I can take myself out from the equation. B, I can elevate myself head and shoulders above all of my competition, okay, everybody that's trying to sell that product. And C, I don't even sell the product, okay? I have my own creative offer that I'm presenting in the marketplace that trumps anything else that anybody else does, okay? That naturally, as a byproduct, sells that product or offer or service, whatever it is that I'm trying to sell, that's gonna pay me money, okay? Now, the setup for that is this. Now, when we're talking about, again, in the training, I'm going to teach you all of these, each one of these components, right? Where most entrepreneurs make a mistake is they think of this very linear, right? They think, well, if I sell this pen right here, well, I'm just going to get a lot of people to watch this pen being for sale, and hopefully somebody buys. And yeah, that's called hopefully game, right? You can do that, but if you ever tried that before, it probably didn't work out for you too well. So what I need to do is I need to take one thing at a time, okay? So what I teach, everything is systematic for me here. As you can see, these are blueprints here. It's called Mass Traffic Blueprint. As a matter of fact, this training that I'm doing, I'm going to talk about my Mass Traffic Blueprint that you can register for. I'm going to teach this to you, okay? Let me give you a little 10,000-foot overview of this model, okay? When it comes to traffic, let's start with traffic, right? Because if you already have something to sell, That's pretty easy. You can join an affiliate program. You can, be an affiliate for a company. You can, join a direct selling company and you can promote their products, and you get paid commission. So it's pretty simple. I've made millions of dollars selling other people's products, okay, using this model. It's incredible. You can apply this to anything. Where most people get confused and kind of overwhelmed in their head is the first step of the process, if you will, right? Or the first part of the formula is traffic generation, right? So when it comes to traffic generation, a lot of people get overwhelmed because, if this circle right here represents all the available traffic media in the cyberspace, right? And there's all these different traffic strategies and sources and everything that's available to us. Well, what happens right now is that most gurus are only talking about this one source or one channel of traffic called Facebook, right? And so they're teaching everybody, hey, go to Facebook, and that's great, right? It works, but it doesn't work as good as it used to about 24 months ago, okay? And it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Why? Because as the message and the concept of going to Facebook and getting traffic from Facebook, right, gets, kind of propagated more and more and more in the space, more businesses, more companies, more entrepreneurs, more individuals go to that one traffic source alone, that little pond. It's not little, it's got, 2 billion people or something like that, right? However, here's the reality of the situation where most people don't see behind the curtain. Engagement on Facebook, okay, average user engagement is down by about 24%. So what that means is in order for Facebook to show your ads to more of their people, they have to charge you more money. So currently, right now, right, the cost to acquire a customer off of Facebook is only about 400 to 500% higher than it used to be just about 24 months ago. Did you know that? Right? Most people don't. But it's like that, flywheel, ecosystem. When you have a microphone and you put it towards the speaker and you say like, right? And then the speaker kind of loops. It's a loop back system, right? And the speaker loops back into the microphone and the sound just gets, louder and louder and louder. And then, you need to turn it off because it's going to blow off the speaker, right? Well, something similar happens here with the traffic generation world. Now, what I've done is I have simplified this traffic generation game. We do not, see this right here, Mass Traffic Blueprint? There is 3 levels of traffic that we focus on. So what I've done over the last 10 years is I said, you know what, Facebook is one of them, and we're going to use them. We're not going to abandon Facebook, but we will never, ever depend on Facebook, right? You never, ever want to have your business or your future be dependent on anything that's one, okay? The worst number in business is 1. Right? One traffic source, one income stream, one product, one employee. You see what I'm saying? Nothing in business that's one is good. You want to have multiple streams of traffic, but when it comes to multiple streams of traffic, how do you know what's good, what's bad? How do you filter all that out? Well, luckily for you, I've done that for you. Over the last decade or so, I was the student of traffic and conversions. And what I've done is I said, you know what? With all of these available traffic media here. I mean, there is a lot. There's hundreds and hundreds of different traffic sources we can go to, we can tap into. How do you know which one to start with? How do you scale? It's a big mess. And so what people are doing is they're going to, currently to Facebook. Okay, they're paying about $1 on average for every click. Okay, and they're sending people to their landing page, right, to build a list, and that redirects them to a product where they make money, hopefully when somebody buys. And of course, when they build a list, that's their list in the autoresponder. What happens is people just hammer, their prospects with the buy, right, for like 4 months nonstop. And what happens is their email open rates go down. Nobody wants to open the email, and people get, those messages just kind of start to fall on, deaf ears and blind eyes for that particular entrepreneur. And what happens is their results is very, very low, if anything. Okay, their email engagement is down the drain. Nobody wants to open their emails. And people say, well, email doesn't work. And my goodness, I'm like frustrated with all this traffic generation, this business. Like, if you ever felt like that, this is why. It's because you're probably following the model most people are following, and most people have no results, right? So how do you fix all this? Well, you fix it by bringing order into your marketing all right, structure. So what I've done is over the last 10 years, I said, you know what? I'm going to take this mess right here, and I'm going to literally, dedicate as much time as I have to figure out, okay, out of all these available traffic sources, which ones are what I call fast results traffic, okay? And I call it level 1 traffic. And so what I've done, again, I'm not going to talk to you all about this. This is the blueprint right here. I'm going to teach you this in the training. If you are interested, I'm going to go into the great detail on this. And so I've simplified. So there's 5 specific traffic sources that I go to, okay? When I call them level 1 fast results traffic. These are the traffic sources that I tap into to get fast traffic like within 24 hours, okay? And the traffic has to be fast, consistent, and reliable for me. Now, when that works, so it looks kind of something like this. I'm going to draw this up for you, okay? So level 1, we have a little circle, and there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5. Now, when that works, we're going to expand in level 2, okay? And level 2, we're calling strategic scale, okay? Level 2. And in level 2, there is 2, right? Here's a blueprint. I follow this to launch a company. I follow this to launch any promotion. I follow this if I want to dominate in any space, in any industry. Again, I'm going to teach you this. Just click on the link, register for the training. I'm going to teach you all this in great detail. But that's what I do, okay? So then when level 2, called strategic scale, when that works, then I take it into level 3, my friends, right? And this is called domination, okay? And it's literally, that's what it's called right here. See this? It's called domination, all right? And domination, there is 3 specific traffic strategies that I deploy there, okay? And it gets me on like as much traffic as you want, right? Do you want 50,000 visitors? Do you want 5,000? Do you want 500,000 visitors? All that, right? Now, this is just on the traffic part. So what we're doing and what you need to do is you need to like simplify this whole idea of traffic generation so that in your mind, in your head, right, you would have order, you would have clarity, you would have awareness on like how do you win in the game of traffic? See what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to do like 100 different things at the same time, and you're listening to this guru and this guru and this guy and this guy, and you have all this information that's conflicting, right? You're having information overwhelm, and so you get confused and frustrated. And when things don't work out, you tend to give up and try to do something else, and you have this circle, this loop. It's called a failure loop. Okay, that just keeps feeding you the same thing, and you're confused and frustrated. You don't have to be like that, right? Now, this is just one part. Okay, so this is called the get part. All right, how do you get traffic? Again, I'm going to teach you all this. I'm going to give you my blueprint. You can follow this, register for a training if you want. Okay, now what I do is there is additional 2 pillars here. Okay, this pillar, the next pillar, I call the manage. Okay, and this is kind of like so the second and third pillar is my system. Okay, I'm going to show you this setup right here. So of course, when we're getting traffic, right, we are going to get that traffic to our landing page. Okay, this is our landing page. This is our front door, and I'm going to build a list very, very similarly to what you have been taught, probably, right? You have to build a list. Now, what we need to do here is we need to do certain things in a certain way. Okay, if you're listening to me, write this down. It's not about doing things. It's about doing certain things in a certain way. Okay, make sense? So we need to do this properly. So what I've learned over the years is you do certain things in a certain way in the manage part when you get in your list. We call it list building mastery, right? And also communication mastery. This is where we have our retargeting campaigns going on. Okay, retarget. This is where you can literally, if you paid $1 over here for every visitor, okay, now I can retarget these people here for maybe 10 cents. Okay, 10 cents. And I'm paying a fraction of what I initially paid to get him. So I'm cutting down my traffic costs. Now, I don't have the time to really teach you all this in great detail here. Register for the training. That's part number 2. Okay? Part number 3 then, and this is the magic right here. And this is where I call them. This is where I call my aggregation mode. Okay? This is where I have my hub. Okay? My place, my stage on the internet, my home online, right? That's what I'm all about. And here's what I do. I embed whatever it is that I'm selling, even if it's my own product, even if it's affiliate products, even if I'm selling the pens or markers or whatever the thing is, Okay, I put people through this process because I want to sell without selling, and I want to be relevant in the industry. I don't want to be just another affiliate, just another fill in the blank, just another, chiropractor, just another pen salesman, just another computer salesman, just another info product salesman or sales lady, just another weight loss coach out there, just another, marketer out there. You don't want to be just another fill in the blank. That makes sense? So the way you win, okay, is you create your own home on the internet. And this is part of the system, part of the engine. Make sense? So this first part right here, right, the get part, and this is like, the fuel. Okay, this is what's gonna fuel your engine, right? This is the fuel. That's where you get the traffic. Because without traffic, without fuel, I don't care if you have the best Ferrari in the world that you have paid $300,000 for, it's not gonna run. It's just gonna sit in the garage. You're gonna look at it just like you can look at your business right now. Look how pretty the website is. Look how awesome the product is. But if you cannot move the thing, what's good? Okay, it doesn't do any good to you. You have to be able to move the product. You have to be able to move, okay, and make the product move. Okay, when you do that, you get rewarded. Okay, now in order for me to be relevant, this is where my hub comes into the picture, and this is magic, my friend. Okay, if you have heard me talk about this, this is where I'm gonna have my sales. Okay. All of my sales are gonna come from here. I'm gonna set myself up with a thing called multiple streams of income, okay? Where you have one customer buying other things without you having to sell them, okay? It is incredible. This is where I'm gonna build my brand, all right? Because the work I'm gonna do today, tomorrow is gonna be an extension to what I've already started today, okay? So you never go back to square one. You never waste work, you never waste energy, you never waste activities. You're being very, very strategic, and you have a thought out path and a plan to follow. Very methodical. Make sense? I want to teach you all this stuff. Just click on the link. And then this hub also allows me to build a community. Right now, community, my friend, this is the future of marketing. Okay, that's what we really focus on at 4% here. We're focusing on that right now. This is what is being propagated. Heck, just watch what all these mainstream media gurus are doing right now, right? They're focusing on building their own communities. I have been doing this for the last decade. That we've been teaching this. So how do you do all this stuff? How do you set this whole thing up? How do you master traffic generation? Okay, and this third pillar, by the way, we call multiply. Okay, so it's pretty simple. All right, when it comes to your systems, you want to get traffic, you want to manage traffic, you want to multiply traffic, right? You want to get a prospect, you want to manage prospects, you want to multiply prospects. You want to get a sale, get a customer, manage a customer, and multiply a customer, right? And so what you do is you create a system around this whole, this whole setup, and you have yourself what's called a selling machine that works on your behalf, with or without you. Okay, you don't have to be there doing presentations to people. Okay, and this whole machine here loops, and it feeds itself. Okay, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And this, my friend, is how you can dominate any company, any industry, any product, any promotion, anything that you want to do. Okay, very, very few people know how to do this kind of stuff. Now, following this model, we're calling it data aggregation model. And that's what I teach inside the Internet Traffic Academy, by the way. If you're part of it, you know. If you're not part of it, you learn about it, because this is going to change your business. This is going to change your future, honestly. It changed my life, this concept. It took me over $350,000 just in trial and error just to kind of perfect this. Now we're running, everything is on Blueprint, right? Think about it like this. A pilot gets into a cockpit, of any airplane. What's the first thing they do? They go through a checklist. Okay, that pilot might be flying for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Every single time he gets behind it, he gets into a cockpit, he goes through a checklist, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? Because it's systems, right? Write this down. People fail, systems work, right? So, or you can reverse it. Systems work, people fail. If you have a systematic approach to selling, you will always sell with success. And if you're relying on your own intuition, you can do that temporarily until you find a winning system, okay? So, this is the big secret that allowed me to build, a company that we now are in over 100 different countries. This is how I dominate any promotion I want to dominate. Is think about this, okay? Vehicle, engine, fuel. In your business, your vehicle is your product or company or offer, whatever it is you're selling. Your engine needs to be built. This is how you will differentiate yourself from everybody else out there. And your fuel, okay, is your traffic that you're taking and fueling your engine, your machine, okay? That's selling the product indirectly. And you don't even have to worry about competition. You can run ads next to your competitors. Your competitors are running ads, whatever all of the other competitors are running, and you couldn't tell the difference. You can step into that same pond with your own system, with your own way of selling. You can dominate them. Don't even compete. You want to go for domination. I'm going to teach you how you can do this in your business. Okay? So look, if you like this idea, if you want to learn more about this, register for a training I'm doing. I'm going to dive into great details about this and show you how you can apply this in your business. Thanks for watching.